Welcome, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for more Phoenix Wright 3. And, let's see how this case goes. January 8th, 1:21 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Really? Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, what's that pot calling the kettle black? Little Miss Topknot? It's not a topknot. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. No kidding. You gotta have something for me to do, pal. Anything. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprints and some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Back to the bottle. Ooh! Can we get the prints on the MC Bomber? That's the question. Are there prints on this? Let's see if there's prints on this. What are you doing, Nick? If Detective Gumshoe's going to check some prints for us, shouldn't he be checking this? Oh, didn't he already have that set? That small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? The victim's ear medication that we found in the kitchen? Look, it even says covered in unidentified fingerprints right in the court record. You're right. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too, pal. Why didn't he have that? I thought they were having that checked the whole time. You're telling me he gave it to me and he never checked the fingerprints? I thought he had those on record. What? So you'll look into it for us? Awesome. What about the thing I asked you to run a check on? Oh, that. Sure. I'll see what I can do if I got any spare time. Spare time? I feel so unimportant right now. Small bottle, give him Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off their lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. Okay. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Okay. Hey. January 8th, 1:56 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 4. So we gotta somehow stretch this to an hour? Damn. Or 30 minutes, depending on how long that was. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Fidio Tigre? Museum. I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tiger, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. I was gonna say Tiger, Tiger is gonna make it confusing. Here he is. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... Ah! Damn it. Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too. Would you mind? What do you used to say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of. You hear me? Who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Sparky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear. I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me. Just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? Museum. There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What do you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. Okay. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You're the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. Oh, while you're under there, Maya. Okay, let's see here. The tiger's alibi. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask via letter. Okay. At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to the case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. And you're gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you get tangled with the tiger. So don't press? So don't press? I love a good spectator sport. Just a moment. That's really not. Museum. This witness is, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system. Here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? No! The tiger's alibi. So we can't press needlessly. Just think, all you have to do is press him on something irrelevant and bam, 50,000. Get real, Maya. How about you pay back the money then? Your allowance should cover it. Hey, I'm no idiot, you know. Well, I'm certainly not the one who thought the 50,000 was free money. Anyway, I need to work this guy without pressing his testimony too hard. But his testimony is pretty solid as it is. I admit nothing jumps out at me as a contradiction. But I've got to find an opening somewhere, or I need to make one. And not lose freaking money. Check something. We'll press this one. Here we go. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Good. Ah! There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Oh, I see, that's how they're doing it. Okay, only if you press hard. Press harder. Mr. Tiger, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection.
This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I had never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please... Mr. Tiger, the court asks you to add the last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Okay, there we go. So, looking over here. We have things that conflict this. Let's just try. Mr. Tiger, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg. But it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. Dated December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. He's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You're calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Ruh-roh. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You'd better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. He only drinks when someone lies to him. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tiger. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? You never actually met the victim. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. And not in a good way. The victim, Glen Elg. I ain't no liar, I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed up. I ain't never even been to that Tribune joint, you see? You hear? You's here. There we go. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. My throat's giving out, I can already tell. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Ugh. Water. And yet your name was written on the victim's calendar. Get that horse calendar out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast. No. Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever would. Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate. Anyway, if you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left? It's only when I press it. Oh, only that last time. Okay, we're good. Keep pressing. That's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim worked, December 3rd was the date he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed. Oh, yeah. Maybe you're right. Whatever it was going down at the beginning of the December. So you did meet Mr. Elg then? Hey, Wright. You might want to cool your jets a sec. So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Tribulations then? Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I got an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there. Not exactly a professional office you've got there, you know. So you were in your office on the day in question? He didn't show up. Huh. What do you think, Wright? Let's see. How does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office? And you yourself didn't go to Tribulations? What are you trying to pin me on? On me here. Why don't you come down to my office? We can chat about this thing my way, yeah? I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there. No need. I'm good, thanks. Listen up, I ain't got nothing more to say except this. How are we gonna prove that one? Never. Not even once. Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee, capiche? Do you think you really didn't meet Glen Elg? Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. So you mean, the whole testimony he just gave was a lie? Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in. I've got to nail him while I still can. Now, how do I prove this? Oh, right here. Matchbook. Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Tribulations before. What was a book of restaurant matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Okay. Order. Well, witness. I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Alright. At Tribulations. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out. I went straight back to my office. Gotta find a time there. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. Wait around here any longer. I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. Museum. No problem. Anytime Trent presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Cadeau, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since you's paying. Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Ever? Très bien. Okay, let's see how the penalty works. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlander at all, then? The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen, if there are any issues. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Tribune? Huh. You're going over old ground again, Wright. Sorry. You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down. You will suck down the penalty, Mr. Wright, and you will like it. Okay, thank you, sir. May I have another? Okay, so we can only press what's important. Okay. Well, Nick, what do you think? He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. I've got to come right back at him with a contradiction. Be careful about the press, though. Be careful what you press him on, though, or you'll get penalized, okay? Here we go. Press. You went straight back. Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this. The courtroom's not exactly a place to talk about dark secrets, is it? It seems you've done it again, Mr. Knight. Another irrelevant line of questioning. I must impose a penalty accordingly. Damn it! How about a penalty for those two jokers and the garbage they keep coming up with? Well, Nick, okay, so this one, not it? Try this one. You mean you saw Glenn Elk's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some ragged bit of cloth he called a hat. What time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches, round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker. Out of interest, Mr. Tiger, what winds you up the second most? What do you think? Square watches. Oh my god. Is this guy for real? Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place. Oh, we didn't get penalized there. Look at that, did not get penalized for that one. Gotta be here. So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then? The tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with a chef after taking 5 books home. Poor Gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. Okay, so there's only one left. this one. Alright. An ugly scene? What do you mean? The witness has already told us, Trite, which makes that question irrelevant. But... I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during the trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, Trite. Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney, ashen. Don't make me burn you again, Mr. Wright. I guess I shouldn't have pressed him on that. Guess I'm gonna make that special express after all. But to recap, this ugly scene you saw was... But, okay, so... There's a wall there, right? Yeah, there's walls. There's no way he could see him. This or the other picture? Yep, there it is, yep. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. Museum. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like... this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Oh, she. So, from the entrance of Trib Inn, you couldn't have been seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Cadeau was not Glenelg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Cadeau falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Mr. Victor Cadeau. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Well, that's easy. Just in case. Obviously, the killer is Fiero Tiger. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness... Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I give you that. Mr. Wright! Do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Cadeau! Let's just go back over Mr. Cadeau's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no. The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She's very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the Qs put the poison into the coffee. Oh, yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. But very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Ha! Found your pen at last, Trite? It was in my pocket. Ahem. But anyway, Mr. Godot witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Knight. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Godot witnessed? Violetta. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlender. You're making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Huh. Stop shaking, Nick. But where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. She had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furia Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime, was you! Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? Yous got it all wrapped up nice, huh, Wright? But yous missed one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, yous here. What? Would you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Easy. Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. My throat is not handling this very well. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribune between yourself and the victim? I am running out of throat. Ties to the victim. Keep going. Need water. Yeah, I loaned Glenn Elg cash. About $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky. You know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you got the VIG. You take into account, interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, he ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? It's the MC Bomber. He knew the MC Bomber was worth more than $100,000. But somehow the genius didn't realize that. He'd rather have that than the $500,000, of course. Looks like we're not going to get penalized this time, so... Pressing. Did he have any way of paying the loan back? The fool was a gambler. He said he couldn't give it up until he landed a big win. I agreed to help him. Help him? You? I kept hitting him with ideas for ways he could get a big win. The guy kept losing. So you were helping him for his sake, or yours? Went through compromise. You help me, I help you. Hughes, what's the difference, huh? I don't believe this. Nick, would anyone really ever loan money to someone they thought was unreliable? Like, for example, if it were you? I'd only loan you $5, Max. Max! Thanks a lot, Maya. So how much were you expecting him to pay you back on that day? What do you used to think? The whole package, $100,000 including interest. That's a real heavyweight punch. Once a client misses a repayment, you call the whole loan in. You want to make it in my world, that's all you've got to do. No. And how many times had Mr. Elric been late with his repayments? Once. And how much was that he's supposed to pay back every month? $50. Sounds like Mr. Elric was in a real sticky spot. Yeah, at $50 a month, he'd never pay that huge loan off. How much did he have left on his debt? He wanted in round figures about $100,000. That's the whole amount. We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet. What? You're telling me he wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee? He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elg. That guy was smooth, I tell you, real smooth. You have your money in less than 5 minutes, that's what he says to me. The guy then calls me the Tender Tiger. He was skating on thin ice to meet with me. Was that because the guy won the lottery? Was his last chance at a big win? And you can confirm that this is the ticket in question? That's it. The main radio show starts at 1:30 p.m. and runs for 10 minutes. That fixes the time you two met with some accuracy. And that's where we're gonna get him. And the whole scene was acted out later. 30 minutes later. Also that Mr. Cadeau would see it. I can still see the kid's face now. I ain't never gonna forget it. Was there anyone else in the restaurant at the time? I don't remember. If there was no one there, I'll wear that ridiculous tiger shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggie, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time. So the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning. Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you? Huh. The undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler. I lost that voice for a minute. Makes it sound so cool. Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower up for it. All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glass in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. But Maggie did, why not? What exactly are you implying the defendant did? How about you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad, she poisoned Elk's coffee. A likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. Tiger. Objection. Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, Trite. The law don't exactly agree with some of the deals I send down. I couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split. I see. Your Honor, the witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee. I concur, Mr. Cadeau. You will amend your testimony accordingly, witness. So that's what you's after, Phoenix, right? Thanks to what she did, my business with that kid was over. The Tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there, or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony? Would you like it amended? Have it amended. I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended. Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please. Is that the 100,000? Okay. Are you saying you had no other motives that day? Yeah, so what? Then why didn't you take the lottery ticket when you left? Why do you think? Because of Four Eyes over there. Because of Maggie? I bet you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket. Here's the question. How did she just have poison on her in the first place, right? That's a good question. You have to plan ahead to take poison with you. She wanted so bad. She poisoned Elk's coffee. A likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. Tiger. Objection. Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, right? Oh, this again. Law don't exactly agree with some of the things. Okay, we're doing this again. Wait, what? I just keep having it changed? Oh, I get it. So the Tiger's meeting Glen Elk to get his money back. If Mr. Elk had just given him the lottery ticket, that would have been the end of it. Yeah, so what's the Tiger's motive? This is the big one. If I don't manage to undermine his testimony, it's all over for us. Why would he have to poison Mr. Elk? And why did he loan him the money in the first place when he knew he couldn't repay him? Can I use the MC Bomber right here? Let's see. Yep, we can use it. There it is. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 that Mr. Elk owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were after. Objection! Museum. What are you getting at, Trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money. But money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor. That is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glen Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Ugh. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get a hold of that program. Exactly. Museum. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right away? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tiger need money to the tune of $1 million? This! In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. But where did you get all this information? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Repayment for these expenses was due in December of last year, and was paid in full. But $1 million? Preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. Huh. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay. Because his very life depended on it. Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Knight? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Rito Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and... They talked about Cadaverini earlier, by the way, what the hell? Doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Whoa! Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense? You're desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened. But he can't, neither can I. You see, the lottery win? Exactly, at the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery. Which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. Museum, that's crazy. He murdered Glen Elg, and then made his next move. To frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tiger poses Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one who we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept out of it. But Mr. Armstrong knew all along. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice, but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan. Robber. Order. Silence or I'll clear the room. Oh, shit. Well, easy put on a good shoe, Spiky. Huh? If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You're saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. What? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Museum. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright? What was the trick you say that Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused? I have no idea. That's not it. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Knight. I hate you all. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here at this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Hey. Forget about it, yeah? Whoa! I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, right here in court, we deal with people's lives. That was the wrong voice. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. Museum, you say he impersonated Glen Elg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Ah! Narg. Snarf. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get mauled, you got it? You got that. All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. Gumshoe! 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 Where's Gumshoe? There he is! Hold it! Your Honor, sir. Wait! Have we seen him run in with a bag before? In, like, the first game? He ran in with a bag in the first game, didn't he? Detective Gumshoe. Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this, my badge, the works. Here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. Oh, what is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? And faint. Did he just move the tiger out of the way? January 8th, 2:48 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I knew. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? Violetta, isn't it? I knew it. You bet. Oh, okay, it is. Leah's crystal all over the bottle. The fear of tiger's paws prints, all right. That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on the bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? We need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Oak's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. We need Violetta. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great, no matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. It's Violetta. Oh, it's Maggie. Detective Gumshoe. Maggie? You've been working on something. For me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way that I could use it. Small bottle put into pocket. Now what? January 8th, 3:04 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 4. Robber. Mr. Knight? Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to court no court before. But you as a lawyer sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Knight. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Knight. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. Are we gonna use the bottle or not? Just do the bottle first, see what happens. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victims? Your Honor? Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger. What? But Mr. Knight, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Oh snap, yeah, he's right. My prints are on that pansy little bottle. Is that what you're saying? What the hell's in it anyway? Time to bluff. A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and a phony clue. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tiger, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove you're guilty. Your guilt. Why? Because it contains... This is the bottle containing potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Glen Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. Oh shit. Noticing Godot not objecting, by the way. And on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that. What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. You's just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix. Right, that ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Oh, he's gonna reveal he knows what the real bottle is. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Oh! SpaghettiOs! Well, shit. Oh, that's the trap. Ooh. Got him. At last. But what? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Oh. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle of cyanide I was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That was just playing games. Tell him, Godot, tell that guy where you go. Museum, you still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You don't know who you're messing with? I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. I'm not doing that, my throat's done. Okay. Seizure! Did he black out? He caused a power outage! What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Uh-oh. 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 Well done, Wright. He got Phoenix with the coffee? Or did he hit Tiger with the coffee? I saved my 17th cup of coffee for just you. Just for you. Why? Savor it. Why? While you watch your caged prey. Why did he throw the coffee? I was gonna hit him with it, not him. Right, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Oh my god, I was waiting for this stupid joke! There's an episode, one of these episodes I made this joke, I just don't remember when, but there it is. The prosecution will be safe. Be sure to take care of Mr. Tiger, won't you, Mr. Godot? He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elk, Your Honor. That was not his voice at all. Museum. He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elk, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a grave error. I thought we were going to have Violet on the stand. We never had to. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of a genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for one slip of the tongue. Radio Tiger's truly frightening criminal. Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Yeah! That is all. This court is adjourned. Oh, man. Oh, man. January 8th, 4:10 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. I'll get the hell out of here. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. But wait. Detective Gumshoe? Oh yeah, congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Well, I was, well, guess I'll be heading off then. I'll see you around. Well, wait up, detective. Just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even any use. What? It's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie. His shoes have not been shined in years, I bet. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this. Want to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. Thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. A whole lot of weenies. Where are they? Where are they? Where's the weenies? Oh, there they are. I'm blind as balls. A tenderly homemade lunchbox fills the stomach with love and plenty of weenies. Is that so? Present. Here you go. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe made with a ton of love. Keyword on love. He said you lost weight when he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know? We have a vested interest in that, for Gumshoe. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know? Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this? Yeah? Didn't expect to get a picture of her enjoying weenies, but here it is. Just blur it all out. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. She's cry-eating. Really could blur that out if she's crying. Then the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. That the end? That's the end! Recipe for Turnabout. Okay, the end. Damn. Let's see the picture for this one. Turnabout Beginnings. Bye. Time to save. Ooh. That took a lot out of me. Just see the picture. I guess it makes sense. It'd be her picture. Let's see here. It's controls it. There we go. Where's her waist? Or her crotch? Where's her crotch? Let's see the other one. Yeah, everyone's crotchless. Yep, everybody's crotchless. That's... How do they populate? Episode 4 is next time. Okay, so there you go. That right there is the game for now. I had fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for killing by, and see you next time. Woo! My throat is shut right now. Woo!